You're welcome to the broadcast. This afternoon, there's more controversy over the re-emergence of galamsey queen Aisha Haung. The new controversy has been generated after President Akufo-Addo admitted that some uncertainty continues to surround the deportation claims about the popular galamsey businesswoman Aisha Haung. According to the president, he is not sure whether Aisha Haung was deported from the country in 2018. President Akufo-Addo spoke on Hobey Stone Radio as part of his tour of the Volta region.
I think the efforts have brought a lot of fruit. First of all, it's now a subject of national discussion.
Okay.
Everywhere you go, this matter of galamsey will at least achieve that purpose of heightening consciousness about it as an evil. When I came, nobody was talking about galamsey. Since we came and focused on it, it is now the subject of discussions in homes, in offices, in meetings all across Ghana. So that's one very positive development. Secondly, many of the measures that have been put in place are yielding fruit. The community mining schemes that are being established across the country systematically are being rolled out. The efforts there are to keep our waters clean have not succeeded in their entirety, but some measurable increase in performance there is also taking place. Generally, you can see that, yes, there will be sensational cases, and the matter is not over. The Aisha Haung is now, is a sort of, has become a short form for everything to do with, especially, unfortunately, with the involvement of foreigners, especially Chinese, in these illicit and dangerous acts in our country. But I'm persuaded that much of the work that is being done, and a lot of these things are going on without too much publicity, is gradually yielding results. When you have a situation like this woman who was, I'm not still sure whether she was in fact deported or whether she fled the country the first time and has now come back, but whatever. There still seems to be some uncertainty about it, but whichever way it is, she has become the sort of nickname for all that the galamsey represents. And unfortunately, also for the involvement of Chinese nationals in Ghana in this particular illicit trade. We have constantly to work at it. We need to have the cooperation of the courts. Until recently, till I came, the punishment for people caught was relatively light, a fine, and even if we're going to go to custodial sentences was relatively minimal. We've changed the law to stiffen the punishments for people caught. For foreigners, I think it's now 15 to 25 years, depending on the severity of what it is. So we're also now going to test our judicial system, to what extent it is going to be responsive, especially when somebody like her goes on to trial. But I'm persuaded that the fight is in the right place. It's not an easy fight. You can see in the last election, the concerted efforts that the galamsey community made to try and turn us out of office because of our fight. Fortunately, the good people of Ghana decided otherwise. But it shows you the extent to which this fight is biting. The people made these.
Well, the comments of the president you just watched, which he spoke about in less than 6 hours ago, has already been in the trends, and a lot of conversation has been generated as a result. Let's speak with Awula Serwah, who is the co-coordinator of the Eco-Conscious Citizens Ghana, who has joined us on Zoom for more on this. Awula, thank you for your time with us on the program. You heard the president that he is unsure the status of Aisha Haung, whether she was deported in 2018. First question to you is, are you surprised at this?
Well, I must say that I find this very worrying. If our president is unsure of this, it's extremely worrying. Deportation is not just done willy-nilly. I used to work at the Swedish consulate. When you're deporting somebody, there are processes, and you usually have immigration officers accompanying the deported person to their home country and handing them to the immigration officers in their country. So there should be records. Ghanaians were told that she had been deported. If this is not the case, then untruths were told to Ghanaians, which is not acceptable.
So the former president, John Dramani Mahama, he also spoke about deporting about 5,000 illegal minors during his tenure. Does that not also speak about, the lack of commitment to ensure that foreigners face the law when they break it?
I mean, I think that we shouldn't be having a competition between the two parties who did better. The situation is dire. All we need to do is look at the state of our water bodies, the state of our forests, and realize that our environment is under threat. So I don't think either of the two parties can be proud of their record. What we need to do is focus on the situation. And Aisha has become a kind of symbol, but we need to look beyond her. What is actually happening? She could not be operating without the complicity and the involvement of those who should know better. So the right thing to do is to stop having a competition, but to go to the heart of the matter and to find out why galamsey is still going on. Because it's not just foreign nationals. Ghanaians themselves are actively involved. Highly placed Ghanaians. We had the president of the Small Scale Miners Association arrested, if the reports I read are correct, because he said he had seen vehicles with specific stickers at a galamsey play. Instead of arresting him, all he had asked to do was to provide particulars of what he was saying. But arresting him gives the impression that we don't want the truth to come out. So I am very worried about what is going on. I'm looking at the state of our rivers and our waters, and I'm saying that enough is not being done. We really need to be serious about
Right. So in 2019,
clamping down on galamsey.
Okay. So in 2019, there was also the Rosewood Queen. Her name is Helen Huang, who was also deported in 2019 without, if you like, facing trial. How important is it to bring such, individuals to face the law in the fight against destroying the environment?
I mean, all should face the full rigors of the law. And foreign nationals, Ghanaian nationals, anybody who wants to destroy our environment should face the full rigors of the law. Every Ghanaian should be concerned about what is happening. I mean, I'm not impressed with what is going on. And I just looked at a few weeks ago when a few chiefs were supposed to have closed down a radio station because of comments that were made. I mean, it's good to see the chiefs acting, but it would be better to see them acting when there's galamsey going on in their neck of the woods, and somehow it just seems to go on with impunity. And I keep on saying that it cannot go on with impunity if highly placed persons are not involved or at worst just turning a blind eye. If we are really, really serious as a nation about clamping down on galamsey, believe me, it will end sooner than later.
So briefly, Awula, before you go, if highly placed persons are turning a blind eye, what should be the posture of the ordinary citizen?
The ordinary citizen should say, not in my name. We can have groups going to the galamsey areas and stopping them. I know that the press has done a remarkable job. We had a situation where I believe it was Joy going there and actually being attacked. So what we need to do is to let whoever wants to stand for elections know that if you're not doing anything about galamsey, but just public relations stance, we will not vote for you. And maybe a credible person should come forward who really wants to protect our environment. And before I go, Atiwa Forest should be a no-go area. We've destroyed enough of our forest reserves. We should not go and destroy a pristine area, which is the source of water to over 5 million Ghanaians. So what I'm saying is that we need to be more robust about clamping down on galamsey wherever the axe falls, whether they are highly placed Ghanaians or Chinese nationals. It doesn't matter who is involved in it. We should let the full rigors of the law apply. Prosecute them, sentence them before deportation, but don't just repatriate them or allow them to go and tell Ghanaians they are being deported. I mean, this is really an insult to Ghanaians.
Awula, I thank you for your time with us on the program. Awula Serwah is the co-chair of the co-coordinator of the Eco-Conscious Citizens Ghana, speaking with us. We'll be speaking with